morning. Wesley and I are going to get some parts. Got a shaker that had a bearing go out inside the head, so couldn't find it locally because it's kind of not an odd bearing, but just not really a bearing that people normally carry. So we're going to the dealer and pick one up and take it back out to the field. So they've been shaking at night. They came out at midnight. It's 8 o'clock now, so trying to run at night and get moisture to kind of help with the almonds coming off a little better. So, but that's the bad thing that kind of sucks about working at night when you have breakdowns. I mean, as long as you have the parts, it's no big deal, which we're usually pretty good. We usually have, a lot of spare parts on hand, but every once in a while there's one that we don't have, so it's just kind of par for the course. So pick it up, take it back out, get them back going, and what else we got to do today? Oh, we got mowers are getting picked up by a trucking company, getting moved to their first job of the year. So we will get those loaded up and get them out to the field and set them up. So see you in a little bit. All right, got the parts. Everything's cool now. So I'm walking a field trying to decide what varieties we're going to shake. So this field's got two different varieties in it, so I'm just out kind of looking at mummies in the trees, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So like you can see, right there, see all those black almonds? Like those are mummies left over from harvest. I think I've explained before, it could be a lot of reasons why they're there. Maybe the almonds weren't ready. They could have been green, or they could have been dry, or I guess you could say overripe, meaning that we were late, or like green, maybe we were too early. But like I think in this particular tree, I think it's more just the way the scaffolding is, or the structure of the tree. So like this long branch right here, that's where most of the mummies are. You can see the rest of the tree looks pretty clean. So what I mean by that is, it's a long branch, and you're not going to get a lot of like violent shake movement out of it. It's more just going to get kind of a wave, or like I say, they're just like sitting there waving at you. They're not shaking. So it just didn't get a good shake. You couldn't get the energy up there, so they stuck. So I think that's this particular tree's case, that's what it is, because everything else looks really clean. Like we did a pretty good job. So I think we're gonna leave this variety, which is the nonpareil, because we actually shook this variety twice in this field during harvest. But the other variety, the wood colonies, which are kind of notorious for being sticky and a pain in the butt during harvest, as far as timing. There's a few in there. It's not as bad. We shook this field a little differently than we have in the past. We came in and we did the nonpareils a little earlier than we normally would. So we did them a little on the green side, and we did that knowing that it would give us an opportunity to come back sooner to the wood colonies. And so we would shake them sooner, because wood colonies seem like they come off better when they're green. So we reshook the nonpareils with the wood colonies, and I could see it worked pretty good. We could probably do it again next year. We did have a little bit of an issue with scheduling irrigation and stuff in this field, so we didn't get quite back to the wood colonies when we wanted to, but it still worked out pretty well. So yeah, that's what we're going to do in this field. So we're getting to that point in the mummy shaking season that we are starting to see buds starting to get bigger and develop. So that basically means we're getting closer to bloom. So we need to hurry up. So it's, first week of January. And I always say that, you know, if we're going to do any mummy shaking, we need to get it done by the end of the month. And almonds, pistachios, you can go a little bit later because you don't want to, those buds are going to get swelled up and bigger and will get knocked off easier. That being said, when you do mummy shake, you do always knock some buds off, but it's never really enough to notice a loss in crop, because I've always been told that an almond tree can really only support like 25% of the buds that it has. So are we knocking 75% off? No, probably not. Maybe we're even helping. Maybe we're kind of doing some thinning, you know, giving the tree an opportunity to, you know, hang on to those blooms that are buds that it does have. But it is always a concern because nobody likes seeing, you know, buds on the ground. But man, this is like a really, really important practice, mummy removal. It's just a good way to start fresh for the new year, or for the new coming season, you know, because in some of these almonds, I'll see if I can find one. I know I have some pictures on my phone. Maybe I'll try to put one in this video, but what we're after is getting rid of navel orangeworm, you know, because they will overwinter in these things, and they'll basically get carried into the new season, and navel orangeworm is moths. They lay eggs in the almonds, and then the eggs hatch into worms, and then they eat the crop. And hold on, my phone's ringing. Can't remember where I was, but talking about worms and navel orangeworm and the damage it can cause during harvest. I'm trying to find a worm out here to show you guys, but I can't. So kudos to this grower. But yeah, it's some years are worse than others for worm damage. This last harvest season, I don't know what it was, but it was not like what it was the year prior. The year prior, so that would be 23. There was, you know, crop losses up to like 30%, 20%. I mean, I even heard more. Could be a lot of things: sanitation practices, spray practices, or just the weather, bug pressure. But yeah, that's what we're doing out here, shaking. You know, get them down, destroy them, because the worms will overwinter and then basically carry into the new season. So this is a good, like, you know, non-chemical practice or start to the season. So, but yeah, anyway, all right, we'll go back to the other field and we'll watch the shakers a little bit. Yeah. Have you eaten all your snacks already? No. Where's your hat?
In the truck.
That's not a good place for it. Well, we missed them. See all that sunshine? That dries things out, and then they don't start shaking good, so I guess they're quitting. That's all right. It's kind of sucks, you know, they got to come out at night when it's wet, but you know, if we want to do a good job, that's what we got to do. But yeah, so the sun, that big fireball has dried us out, so they'll come back tonight. So all right, on to the next task. We are going to go set the mowers up. They're getting moved to another ranch kind of far away from here. We're gonna go set those up and get those ready. Well, we made it, but got a dead battery. This thing had a dead battery yesterday, the day before. I took the battery out, charged it, checked all the cells. It had one that was kind of dry, but I don't know. Either the battery's bad or it's got a short somewhere. See if it'll start. my spot.
I'm tracking.
You can't reach the pedals yet. You're not qualified.
It's okay.
You can barely see over the hood. All right, come on, move, scooch, get on the floor. Well,
We gonna go up.
let's see. So, where's the camera? There it is. I always like to run these things as low as you can, but just before touching the ground. It's pretty close. Let's see what it looks like behind. It doesn't look too bad. I tried filming the first initial like 30 feet, but forgot to hit record. It was really deep here. You can see the lines from the blades, and the tractor was bogging out, so raised it up a little bit, but doesn't look too bad. This is going to be a little harder for the tractor, only because there's like mulch or shreddings from when they pruned and then they ran a shredder. So there's more of this, more trash basically, more debris, but should be able to handle it. Check the brushes out. That one doesn't look bad, it's not too deep, it's doing its job. This one is definitely deeper, you can tell. So, probably raise that one up and just leave that one where it's at. I like to run them deep, but when it's wet, it's kind of hard because it's basically scraping a little bit of dirt off, and then the mower's getting that, which that's you know, just more material that's not necessary for the mower to go through, and then when it's wet like this, it'll ball up underneath it, so we just have to make a quick adjustment. Fixed? You think so? I hope so. Alright, so the height hopes it adjusted. You gonna put those back for me? Now I'm gonna turn the brush speed up a little bit to try to get it to throw the. Woo! Hold on. What? No, it's holding itself. Alright. Kind of stuck. Alright, made a few rounds. I'm going to take a look, see what it looks like. But it looks pretty good. Seeing a lot of munched up almonds on the ground, which is pretty much what we want to see. I don't know if you guys can see them sticking out, but like, oh, where'd it go? There it is. See all these little white specks? That's almonds. That's a shell. So yeah, it's doing what it's supposed to. There's a few here and there that are getting smashed by the tires, but that's kind of par for the course. Although I think I'm probably going to wait a few more days. It's still kind of wet. The only reason is they're kind of wet and heavy because of the moisture, so they don't move over is good when you hit them with the blower. So, other than that, I mean, it looks pretty good. But I think we better, probably be a good idea just to wait a couple days, let it dry out. The weather looks good. It looks like the rain's going to cooperate. I always liked this thing. Just always thought it was cool when you can do multiple things or operations with one machine or in a single pass. It's just really cool, and it does a good job. It does a really good job. Look at this clown I found in the field. Do you lock my keys in my truck?
Yeah.
You did?
I locked the truck.
Oh, you didn't lock the keys in it.
No, I didn't.
All right. Say see you later. Say see you next time.
See you next time.
All right. Well, that'll do it for this one. Kind of a quick one, but we will see you guys next time, and we're going to continue on with mowing and shaking and shop work. So stay tuned. See you next time.